Nia Carter had never imagined herself inside an airport until the morning she stood there clutching a boarding pass with shaking hands, surrounded by rushing strangers and echoing announcements, feeling small but determined because this journey was not a vacation or a luxury but a step toward a future she had fought for through long nights of studying, sacrificed weekends, and a belief in herself that had survived doubt. And as she boarded the plane for the first time and carefully found her window seat, she pressed her forehead against the glass and tried to calm her racing heart, reminding herself that this flight was proof she belonged somewhere bigger than the limits people often placed on her. Yet that sense of quiet pride was quickly challenged when a sharply dressed, wealthy white businessman stopped beside her row and immediately accused her of sitting in his seat, speaking with a tone that assumed obedience, and even though Nia politely showed him her boarding pass to prove the seat was hers, he sighed loudly, rolled his eyes, and dropped into the middle seat with clear resentment, bumping her arm as if her presence alone offended him. As the plane began to move, Nia focused on her breathing, trying to steady her nerves, but the man noticed her tension and mocked her fear of flying, smiling cruelly as if weakness amused him. And when she later shared that she was traveling for a scholarship interview, something she was deeply proud of, he dismissed it with comments about handouts and privilege, implying that success only counted when it came from people like him. And though each remark cut deeply, Nia refused to rise to his cruelty, holding on to her dignity even as the air between them grew heavier and more hostile, until the man decided to escalate the situation by calling over a flight attendant and falsely accusing Nia of being aggressive, attempting to weaponize authority and perception against her, knowing too well how easily people like him were believed. And in that moment Nia felt fear tighten her chest. Not fear of the plane, but fear of being misunderstood, silenced, and labeled for simply standing her ground. Yet when he physically blocked her movement and spoke to her with open disrespect, something inside her shifted, and instead of shrinking, she found her voice, telling him firmly not to touch her and not to speak to her that way. A moment that stunned the cabin into silence and forced witnesses to confront what was happening in real time. As other passengers spoke up in her defense and flight attendants intervened, the man's confidence unraveled, his wealth and arrogance suddenly meaningless in the face of truth and accountability, while Nia, shaken but unbroken, sat quietly afterward realizing that the turbulence she had faced was not in the sky but in human behavior. And when the plane finally descended and landed safely, security met the aircraft and escorted the man away as Nia walked off calmly, her phone buzzing with confirmation of her interview. And in that final moment she understood that this journey had given her more than miles traveled. It had given her proof that her voice carried weight, her presence was valid, and no amount of money or entitlement could erase the strength she had earned through resilience, courage, and the refusal to be diminished.